Good evening. Welcome to my prototype for the Foot Asylum website. The reason why I decided to do Foot Asylum in the first place was because I'm a big lover of activewear, and I'm always kind of into fitness and going, looking up the kind of latest online fitness apps or going to the gym when we don't have a pandemic. So I've always loved looking at different fitness brands like your Lululemons, your Nike. But I thought Foot Asylum were really interesting because for a very long time I never shopped with them, and then only recently I realized that they have a lot of the brands that I'm interested in. So I thought they'd be really good to do as a usability case study. So I'll just show you the main Foot Asylum website. So this is the main screen. As you can see, you scroll down through the main screen, there's lots of images there. So the results that I got from my usability test were a few interesting things. I'm going to cover three areas. But the main things, so in terms of general usability, like your SIF metrics, a lot of my people in my usability test were able to find things relatively easy. They had more impressions and emotional thoughts on the website. So 100% of women that I tested did not like the Foot Asylum colours and the website because they thought it was a male only website. So they didn't like, and we also had 2 out of 3 of the males mentioned they didn't like the way the black and the green are going together. They just didn't really get the colour scheme. But as you scroll through the main website, you can kind of see there's very male or orientated images. So a lot of the women you can see kind of where they're coming from. So this was kind of to bear in mind. It was also was also came up in a lot of kind of online reports, and my research was that sustainability is really important. So anything to do with the environment. I know that Foot Asylum have a scheme because I looked it up. It's called Regain, and it's very difficult to find anything to do with their sustainability program on their website. They also have a loyalty scheme. The loyalty scheme, 100% of people that I tested were not able to find anything to do with their loyalty scheme called Unlocked. So they're just a couple of things that I covered in my usability session. So it was that it comes across as a very male dominated website. A lot of females don't like the color scheme. It's very busy on the main page. The imagery is very male orientated. They couldn't, everybody, 100% of people in my usability test could not find anything to do with the loyalty scheme called Unlocked, and they struggled to find anything to do with sustainability. So anything to do with the schemes that Foot Asylum have to do with climate change, or that they're trying to look after the environment. And in terms of the women's section, final thoughts are that people found it strange how the women's section, when eventually they did find it, how it was completely different branding. So that was something that kind of came up as well in my usability session. So I'll quickly talk you through my prototype. So I decided to go for a neutral color palette. So the colors that I used, you can obviously see from the main screen. You're talking about your orange, an off-white, your green, and then a bit of a darker orange to highlight buttons. The reason why I chose, I was thinking green comes up very neutral, and to do with, I thought that would tie in nicely with sustainability to show that, we kind of care for the environment. Orange is to do with is like psychology. It's to do with energy and activity. So that was why I chose that color. But these are very gender neutral colors. So the first task that I'm going to take you through is the very simple finding anything to do with sustainability. So what Foot Asylum, just to show that they have something that they're trying to do to be more aware of the environment. So I wanted to make that more obvious. So as you can see, I've changed the color scheme. I've tidied up the main home screen, just made it a little bit less busy on the main page. I put other things in here as well. Like they don't just do shoes, they also deal with clothing. So I wanted to make that clear, footwear and activewear. So if you scroll down, you can see straight away the environment. Boom, sustainability. We click in here. This is all about what Foot Asylum, that we care about the planet. We have one world. This is the scheme that they have. It's called Recycle, Reuse and Regain. So you click next. This is all to find out a little bit more and what you need to do. So this is all about the scheme, how it works. It's basically a program that you drop off a bag of clothes. If you're about to throw out your bag of clothes, you search for a drop-off centre, and then Foot Asylum will send you a code with 10% off your next shop. And that doesn't have to be clothes that you had previously used with Foot Asylum. That is any second-hand clothes you send to their drop-off centre. So drop-off location, enter postcode. It'll show you a list of your drop-off centres, and then retain your receipt, and you're done. The next thing I wanted to change or redesign on the Foot Asylum website was to do with their unlocked scheme. So it's the Foot Asylum's loyalty scheme. So this is an example of them trying to be a digital disruptor, because if you have a loyalty scheme, you're obviously trying to do new things to generate more income. So this is Foot Asylum's attempt at trying to generate more income by repeat customers. So it's called Unlocked. Nobody could find this in my usability test. They just couldn't find it anywhere. They'd have to search and search until I'd have to just tell them how to find it. So I wanted to make this really like a lot more obvious. So I put this on the main screen again. So loyalty, literally here, unlocked. So unlocked, I also wanted to have it as you're registering as a new candidate, or you're logging in as a new customer. So unlocked, I want it to be in the registration process, a quick screen, all about what we do. So how the scheme works: you register your card payment, you earn points every time you spend, similar to your Tesco Club card. So here is your Foot Asylum account, your registration details, and then literally just a simple tick to say that you want to be involved in the loyalty scheme. So not too many extra things for people to be involved in, and then your tick is there and you are done. And then my final area that I wanted to cover was that people, their initial impressions of the Foot Asylum website, they were a male-only website. So I wanted to make it just a little bit more obvious that they have an area for women. So, and what I did, as I mentioned earlier, is I tried to put in more images to do with women, gender-neutral colours, image of a woman there, and obviously we don't want to leave the guys out either, so we have an image of a guy here under sustainability. So it was just to make it just that little bit more gender neutral, but also that women, when they're initially looking through, they can see, oh yes, okay, this is a women's website. So you can get into the women's section through your women's tab, or you can get in literally by clicking on this image, which takes you to the women's area. So again, I wanted to have the same branding, so not to have it any different. Click in here. So like a search that you would get as the same search function for ASOS or for Amazon. I want to look for a hoodie, any kind of hoodie. And then here's a hoodie here. I want to add it to my basket. Pay securely. I would have already got my card details saved. Order on its way. So the issue what we had with the basket before was there was lots of imagery around this kind of area, which also came up in my usability test. So I just wanted to make it really clean and really simple. So I hope you enjoy the changes that I've made to the Foot Asylum website, and I'm looking forward to your feedback.